Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalatu wassalamu alayka ya Sayyidi ya Rasulullah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Sayyidi ya Nurullah. Subuhun Quddusun Rabbul Malaikatihi wal Ruh. Subhana dhil Jabaruti wal Malakuti wal Kibriyai wal Azma. Respected viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum. Respected viewers and listeners, one of the principal differences between mainstream Sunni Muslims and the Rafida, the astray Shia, is concerning this belief that of theirs, which is known as the Ghaybah. Their belief in the Ghaybah, which is that there is an Imam, they say, who is hidden, invisible, inaccessible, and he is whom they call the 12th Imam, the supposed son of Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi rahmah, whom they say is the Mahdi. Now we Sunni Muslims also believe in the Mahdi, but we don't identify him as that individual because first of all, that individual's existence itself is contested. In fact, there's no evidence that Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi rahmah had a son. He didn't even marry. But anyways, these 12 Shia, they claim that he had a concubine, and that concubine, whose identity is also disputed, and there's contradictory names. But anyways, they say that she had a child, whom they call the 12th Imam, and they say the 12th Imam, he went into Ghaybah, that he is invisible, he is hidden, he is concealed, and that he will emerge in the future. Why did he go into the Ghaybah? They say because his life was in danger from, at that time, the Abbasid government, the Abbasid regime. Now, the Abbasid regime is long gone, and the Shia who believe in the 12th Imam, they have control over Iran, they have control over Iraq, they have power in the world today in some countries. So one would think and one would expect that if this doctrine is true, why doesn't the 12th Imam reappear? He has supporters and he will be safe among his own community. And the Abbasids are long gone. But this is a fiction. This is an absurd, incredible belief of theirs, which is simply not true. But today I want to trace the historical origin of this belief and give some of the Shia who may be watching this or listening to this some food for thought so that they may consider this carefully. You see, the 12th Imam, it is not about him that he was the first individual regarding whom the Shia claim that he's gone into Ghaybah. Many different Shia factions have made this claim about various Imams of the Ahl al-Bayt. In fact, among the Ismailis, there is a branch of Ismailis called the Tayyibis. They're called Tayyibis because they say that their 22nd Imam in their particular line of Imams, whose name was Tayyib, that he also went into hiding and went into concealment, Dawra Satr, the time of concealment. But it's a little different from the 12er conception of Ghaybat al-Kubra, in that they say that the line of Imams continues. It didn't cease with him. It continues. He had a son and he had a son and so on and so forth, but that their identity is hidden and that they are represented by the Da'i al-Mutlaq. So for instance, you might have seen the Dawoodi Boras or heard of them. They are a branch of Tayyibis and they have this doctrine. Likewise, before the 12th Imam, there were several Imams regarding whom different Shia claimed that he is the Mahdi or he is the Qa'im and that he went into the Ghaybah. You had this claim made about Imam Muhammad al-Baqir by a sect known as the Baqiriya. You had it made about Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi rahmah by a sect known as the Navusiya. You had it made about Imam Musa al-Qadhim by a sect known as the Waqifa. And of course, you had this claim made about other Imams. You had it made about Imam Muhammad Nafs al-Zakiyya, and this was believed by a sect called the Muhammadiyya and the Mughiriyya. They believed that Imam Nafs al-Zakiyya is the Mahdi, but that he went into occultation. But the first of the Imams regarding whom this belief in occultation was made concerning was Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiya alayhi rahmah, who was one of the sons of Mawla Ali Karamallah Wajah al-Kareem. So he was the half-brother of Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein. After Imam Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu was martyred, a sect of the Shia called the Kaysaniya, they said that the next Imam is, so the fourth Imam is Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiya. This was the belief of Mukhtar Thaqafi and his associate named Kaysan. This is from where you get the name Kaysaniya for this sect. And when Ibn al-Hanafiya passed away, the Kaysaniya split. Some of them recognized his son Abu Hashim as the next Imam in the succession. They are known as the Hashimiyya. They later developed into the Abbasids, ironically. And then you had the Karabiya, who said, no, Ibn al-Hanafiya is alive and he has gone into occultation, and he is alive on a mountain known as Mountain Radwa, the Mount Radwa. So, for instance, you had a poet who belonged to this sect named Kuthayr Azza, and I have that poet's collection of poems. It was published by Darul Kutub al-Ilmiya, and it is called the Divan of Kuthayr Azza. On page 142, the poet Kuthayr, he writes a poem concerning this belief of his, the Ghaybah. He's expressing it, and this is way before the Twelvers and their 12th Imam and their Ghaybah. So he says, وَسِبْتٌ لَا يَذُوقُ الْمَوْتَ, a child who will not taste death, حتى until يَقُودُ الْخَيْلَ يَكْتُمُهَا الْلِوَاءُ, until he comes upon a horse waving the banner. And he says, تَغَيِّبَ لَا يُرَى فِيهِمْ زَمَانًا, that he is hidden and they will not see him for a time. بِرَضْوَى, on the mountain called Radwa. عِنْدَهُ أَسَلٌ وَمَا, with him is a spring of honey and water. So that's how he's miraculously being sustained or fed by water and honey while he is on Mount Radwa. And of course this sect has gone into extinction. Otherwise, if it had followers today, they would probably say that he's still there on the mountain but he's invisible. And so you could see that this is the couplets of Kuthayr Azza, in which he has expressed belief in this Ghaybah of the Imam, in this case Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiya, in this book. And this was before the Twelvers came up with their Ghaybah. So the Twelvers are not original, have not made an original doctrine. They have inherited it, or they have copied it from other sects of Shia that preceded them. But all of these different sects of the Shia, they don't recognize each other's Imams. They don't recognize each other's claims of the Ghaybah. Why should we Sunnis, if they are inviting us to Shiism to believe in an invisible Imam, which is absurd, because how can an Imam carry out his function if he's invisible? Defeats the whole purpose of him being the Imam. Which of their Imams should we believe in? Which is the real Imam? Who is the one that's actually the hidden one? Because before the 12th Imam, you had Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiya, you had Imam Muhammad Nafs al-Zakiyya, you had Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, you had Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, you had Imam Musa al-Kadhim. These claims were made about these Imams as well, that they are in the Ghaybah. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.